We got Xenogears versus Chrono Cross. Yeah! Why? Yeah. Do I need to explain why I was saving these two? You guys were begging me to do Chrono Cross versus something, Xenogears versus something, and no. Yeah! Let's do this. Praetor says, easily Xenogears. The turn-based combat was great, the mech fights were great, the story and characters were great, etc. Chrono Cross has great music, but I find basically all of its gameplay mechanics annoying. Okay. Zima Duvant says, Chrono Cross not having levels made me hate it upon release. I need to give it another try sometime. I like grinding, I am weird. You can't grind this game. Well, actually, this is like the leveling system is like the Saga games. I mean, you do level up after every boss fight, but you can grind so your characters can get a stat boost. HP plus 1, defense plus 2, you know, they get like that. Eventually you get capped, you know, but yeah. Terry says, I picked Xenogears for the same reason Zema did, level grinding. I hate fighting a long battle and gaining 1 HP for beating it. That, and I hate how every time I fail to steal, I have to run away. Okay. Anyway, Daryl says, for me, it's Chrono Cross. I love the skill system and the art is just gorgeous. Xenogears, I didn't like the second disc. It feels rushed. You just regurgitated what everybody says about Xenogears. So Melfi says, I like Chrono Cross, but to me, Xenogears is overall the better game. The story is a mix of sci-fi and fantasy, and I love that you can switch between regular combat and mech combat, and the characters are good. Okay. Fernando says, I prefer Xenogears, but just because the combat system. Both games have an overly complicated story, that maybe video games is not the best format for such complexity. Wow, interesting argument. Actually, there's a lot of people trolling, you know, and just voting Xenogears just to fuck me up, to rile me up, but it's not gonna happen. Kevin King says Chrono Cross had so much more to do with all the different endings, all the different characters, and the super sneaky true ending hidden right in your face. Great. Anyway, the poll is over. Xenogears won with 56%, Chrono Cross lost with 44%. It wasn't too far off, you know, it started too far off at the beginning because of a lot of trolls. But then it picked up a little bit. Yeah, so anyway, I was expecting Cross to lose because, you know, people just love to troll me and piss me off. Well, we all know Chrono Cross is the better game in reality. Yes, it is. It wins in everything, in every single category, except the story. Well, here's my argument over the story. I think the story in Xenogears is the best freaking story ever written in a JRPG in existence. You know, barely anything comes close, but the Chrono Cross story hits hard here for me, and it's a big deal for me, so I like it more. The Xenogears story is better, even with the rushed disc 2 whatever, you know, but Chrono Cross is just a very special story with very special characters for me. In terms of characters, everybody's gonna say that Xenogears wins because they hate the characters in Chrono Cross for no justifiable reason. But if we focus on the protagonists of Chrono Cross, the characters that actually matters, and it's got quite a few, you know, I like it more. They do get development, they do get some explained shit in them, they're just... I find them more relatable than the ones in Xenogears. So I think it's got like a better cast and a better story, but that's just my opinion. Objectively speaking, Xenogears has the best fucking story ever made, so in a video game. So, nothing competes, nothing comes close. The music. Well, obviously Chrono Cross wins, and I think a lot of people love the Xenogears music and the Xenogears soundtrack, but I think most people, even the haters, even people who despise Chrono Cross can at least admit it's got an untouchable soundtrack. We all know that, you guys know that. Maybe you like the Xenogears soundtrack a bit more, but we all know Chrono Cross soundtrack wins by a landslide. Even if it's done by the same composer, Yasunori Mitsuda composed both and he nailed it. Xenogears is probably his third best soundtrack of all time, because of course his second best soundtrack of all time is Chrono Trigger. But Xenogears is number 3 when it comes to music, right? So great music nonetheless. Graphics, I think Cross wins, has incredibly beautiful art style. Maybe not for the characters, it looks kind of weird, but I mean the backgrounds, you know, the scenery, and it's 3D. It didn't age very well, that's why it got remastered, you know, but if you play this game back in the day, the graphics were like top-notch, beautiful. Technically speaking, maybe not. Xenogears doesn't lag behind though. It's just that the art style, the pixel art in this game, man, it's beautiful. I love it. But it's got a lot of really bland polygonal graphics that aged horribly. And most of the graphics in Chrono Cross aged perfectly. The characters may look a bit weird nowadays because they're polygons, you know. But I don't know, when they're running around the overworld, oh, I love those animations, man. I'm a sucker for Chrono Cross graphics. 10 out of 10 graphics in Chrono Cross, I love it. Beautiful graphics, and Xenogears just didn't age very well. Gameplay mechanics, Chrono Cross wins because, well, okay, sure, I'll give you this. No leveling system, you can't grind, but guess what? You do level up in this game, but the enemies level up with you. So it's kind of pointless to grind in any game, right? So don't give me that argument. You can use that argument to trash Chrono Cross against other JRPGs, but against Xenogears, come on. It'll be like, you know, Chrono Cross versus Final Fantasy VIII. What's the point of grinding, right? So, the rest of the gameplay, well, I'll compare the battle system in a bit. So the rest of the gameplay, you don't have random encounters here. Okay, you can see the enemies and avoid them easily, most of the time. There are some battles that are like hard to avoid, but the encounter rate ruins the exploration. The camera ruins the exploration. The dungeon design ruins. This has fucking horrible gameplay, man. And this has impeccable gameplay. So it wins by a landslide. And finally, the battle system. Well, this is where it gets tricky. Obviously, I prefer the battle system in Chrono Cross. Both games are just as hard. Very difficult. They aren't amongst the hardest PS1 JRPGs or of all time, no. But they're hard games. And it's mostly because of the leveling system, right? In both. Chrono Cross has this overly complicated element system and percentage thing for the melee attacks, you know? It's fucking weird. But Xenogears has this, it isn't complex, but sometimes it's hard to learn new skills. It takes forever. You're there like an idiot, like trying to get different combos to work and learn something new, and it just doesn't happen, so it takes forever. Don't take me wrong, I love the combo system in Xenogears, especially the human battles. Like, the mech battles are like, okay. I hate the fuel system in there. I don't like it. It's good. It's decent, but I just don't like it, you know? I prefer the human battles. And those combos, those combinations, I fucking love the human battle system in Xenogears. I love it. But I'm a bigger fan of the one in Cross. Why? Probably because I got good at it. And in Xenogears, I felt like I never got good. And I still beat the game. And I loved it, you know? But I never really got, like, really good. And in Cross, I feel like I'm really good. You know, I've beaten the game to death. So I'm way more acquainted with the battle mechanics. And now I become a big fan. It's my Valkyrie Profile 2 Silmeria argument again. I know the battle system is definitely not for everybody. Hell, it made me rage quit the first time I played it, right? But I got good at it, and I fucking love it now. One of my favorite battle systems of all time. So Chrono Cross also has one of my favorite battle systems of all time because of that. So in here, I'm not gonna say it wins by a landslide when it comes to combat, you know, but for me, it kinda does. I like it way more. But anyway, so that's Chrono Cross versus Xenogears. That was the last. This is the last versus episode of the year, so it needed to be that, of course. I've been telling you that I was saving these two games for the end of the year, and I'm glad it happened. Two colossal games, super beloved and respected and legendary. But to me, Chrono Cross is always going to win against any video game in existence. You already know that. That's it, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you for being a fan. Thank you for participating in these episodes. And I hope you have a great fucking Christmas and Christmas Eve. Hope you spend it with your family or friends or whatever. No matter what you do, be sure to have fun or try to have fun at least. And that's it. I will see you next time.